welcome back to the Beach Bum Bookworm. I am Tiffany. I'm so glad y'all found me again today. My channel is all about cozy mysteries and romance books, and today I'm doing some of my favorite videos of the month are the new releases and this one, my wrap up. So this is my cozy mystery wrap up, what cozies I read in the month of July. Let me know what you read, what you liked, what your favorites were. Anything else you want to talk about? Down there's a place to do it on your way down. Don't forget to hit the subscription and the notification bell, because that's going to tell you when I put out new videos each and every single week. So my videos normally come out Monday, Wednesday, Friday. They are going to be a little wacky this week because I'm going to post a video today because I'm doing a giveaway. I'm also working on my very first vlog, so I don't know when I'll put that up, but we will see how it goes. All right, guys, let's get started. My July Cozy Mystery Wrap Up in 3, 2, 1, go! So this is where I'm also going to sneak in those announcements. Should be very quick. Our third week in August, we are going to be doing our first ever series, Cozy Mystery Series read along. So excited about it. It's going to be Tina Kashian's Kitchen Kebab. The first book that we'll read in August is Hummus and Homicide. It's going to be right here. It'll be one book a month ending in December because she has 5 books out. And the 5th book is a Christmas book. So it's like kismet. Yes. So excited for that. Some of these are a reread for me and it's totally worth it because I absolutely love this series. My other announcement is that book club is the 4th Saturday of the month. I think that's the 28th. Can't swear to that, believe it is, but regardless, for sure it's the 4th Saturday of the month at 4 p.m. All of our other lives are at 5 p.m., but book club is 4. And we are reading Arsenic and Adobo right here. This is my Mia P. Manansala, and I am thrilled that this is our book club pick. So excited. I think that that's the major announcements. Mondays, we've been doing intense reading sprints. Those will continue for a few weeks, so join us there. And as always, join our Cozy Mystery Discord. Somebody's always on there chatting about books or giving me a hard time, whichever. Just kidding. I'll put the link in the Discord below. All right, let's get started. So I also want to mention I read books 1, 2, and 3 of the Sleepover Friends because it doesn't really fit anywhere. It doesn't fit in cozies and it doesn't fit in romance books. And I don't have a lot to say about them. They're just a fun not even middle grade, maybe elementary reread for me. Somebody else that whose book channel I love, Leanne at Dark Roots Creations, I'll put her in the link below. She started rereading this and it was like a blast from the past. I'd forgotten all about these books. I remember, the Babysitter's Club and Sweet Valley High and all these, but I had forgotten all about the Sleepover Friends, which is insane because I loved them. And so when she started talking about them, it was just like oh my gosh. And so I'm revisiting them and I'm so enjoying it. Thank you, Leanne. I never call you Leanne. Thank you, Lee. All right, now on to the cozy mysteries. So I did stick again to mostly sass. So you're gonna see some books that from the same series coming up again and again because I'm trying to get through my list. There might be a few others mixed in, but for the most part, it's my sass. And the first one was number 2 in the Cranberry Cove series called Bury the Hatchet right here. This is by Peg Cochran. And this was a good one. So I rated it 4 cups of coffee, rate all my cozies in cups of coffee, because what's more cozy than a cup of coffee? Nothing, I say, nothing. So, and this one, Cranberry Cove needs to round up some business for like some awkward months of the year. Like they do really well for tourists in these months, but they need this like middle ground to get them some revenue during these other non-peak months. So the mayor decides they're going to do this winter walk and works really hard on it. They're going to have this parade and there's going to be a horse-drawn sleigh. And as the mayor pulls up in the horse-drawn sleigh, he's dead. So turns out the mayor has a lot more going on than just coming up with the winter walk. He was also dating several women, including our main character, Monica's mother, and her stepmother. So her stepmother already stole one of her men, being Monica's dad. And now they're dating the same man again. Oh my gosh. So Monica's got to figure out what's going on because she knows that neither of these women killed this man. So good. I have a thing for fruit farms, so maybe that's part of it, but I'm really, really enjoying this series. Again, I gave it 4 big cups of coffee. The next one I read is another series that I absolutely love. I actually gave this 5 cups of coffee, and I don't give out many 5s. It's a hard sell for me to give out a 5. This was a good reading month. I had a lot of 5s, and I don't normally give out, like I said, I don't get out a lot of 5s, but I also had a lot of 2s, and I don't normally give out a lot of 2s, but those are more in the romance wrap up, but still, so kind of crazy up and down month for me. Not normal. Usually I'm a 3 and 4 kind of gal. So Wine Tastings or Murder was the book I gave 5 cups of coffee to. It is the 5th book in the Poppy McAllister series by Libby Klein. You guys, I started this series and I was off to the races. I don't binge a lot of series, but I pretty much binged this in terms of, I think I went and read the whole series, including number 6, I'll talk about in a little bit, in 2 months because it is so good. So in this one, our main character Poppy is still baking and canoodling with both Gia and Tim. She has not figured out who she is choosing as far as that, and again works for both of them, which is kind of awkward. The B&B is starting to take off, and the town and the different businesses in the town are hosting this wine tasting. And one of the guests at the wine tasting ends up dead. Now, Poppy is going to figure out what's going on, but her Aunt Jenny is not going to just sit around and not help. So there's the biddies that are trying to also figure out what is going on. And so many laugh out loud moments beyond that. There is a Pomeranian staying at the B&B named Tammy Faye Baker. And then there's also a new chambermaid that, oh my gosh, she is a mess. And it's just so funny. I gave it 5 cups of coffee. I can't even tell you how much I enjoyed this series. It is definitely being added to my favorites of all time. Absolutely love it. Would recommend it to anybody. The next book I read was Treble at the Jam Fest right here. This is the 4th book in the Food Lovers Village series by Leslie Budowitz. I'm enjoying this series. I have one more to read, and actually I already read it now. You'll see in just a minute. So I am caught up in this series. Cha-ching! Another series off my list. And this one, Aaron, of course, manages the Murphy's Mercantile, which is a family, specialty grocery store, which I just love as a concept, in Montana. I don't know that I've read any other cozy mystery series that take place in Montana, so this one just is so cool to me. They're going to have a jazz festival in town, and a lot of the businesses are doing different things to make this jazz festival work and for them to get revenue into their stores and their businesses. And one of the musicians at the jazz festival ends up dead. And he wasn't very nice. We saw just glimpses of him because, he was someone that's not from the town. And he was really hateful and just not very nice. He ends up going over a cliff, and it wasn't an accident. So Aaron's going to figure out what's going on. I gave this 3 cups of coffee. Really, really enjoyed it. The next book I read was Mistletoe Murder right here. This is the 4th book in the Dewberry Farms series by Karen McInerney. And this one, it's Christmas time in Buttercup, Texas. And they're doing renovations at City Hall. And a skeleton, a body, is found in the digging. So not only that, but then there's a present day murder when a body is found in the parking lot of a restaurant. And the sheriff is kind of automatically labeling it a relationship gone bad, like the wife was jealous and she took out her husband. And our main character, Lucy, is just not sure that's the case. So she's going to investigate and see what's going on. I gave this 3 cups of coffee, very solid read. Again, another farm series. So who would have thought that I was into farms? Not me, but I am. I loved it. So the next book I read is one of my all-time favorite series. It's on my all-time favorite series list. It's the Darling Delias Club. I've always called it the Darling Delilahs, and then I had been reading them physically, and I did this one on audiobook, and I'm like, oh, it's Delias. Okay, so it's the Darling Delias and the Voodoo Lily. It's right here. This is again number 9. This is by Susan Wittig Albert, and I was so excited to see a new Darling Delias book because, so sometimes there's not a whole lot of mystery in this. It's more about the daily life in the 1930s of these women. So there's this garden club, and you see just, like I said, the daily life. Like there's actual tips on how to stretch your budget and make homemade products. And I just find it so interesting. The garden club is a very unique club unique in terms of women. I mean, you have somebody that owns a boarding house, you have a banker's wife, you have a legal secretary, and then you have somebody who owns a diner. They come into the story as more focused on this time because they have adopted a daughter. These two women have adopted a daughter named Cupcake, and Cupcake is a Shirley Temple lookalike, and they are trying to, well, one of the women are trying to make her famous. There is a death in this one. Somebody at the boarding house passes away. They say it's natural causes, and it kind of moves on, and then the story picks up a little with the mystery of it wasn't natural causes. Loved it, loved it, loved it. Again, if you want very fast-paced, if you want mystery-focused, you are not getting that in this series. If you're like me and you're character-driven and town-driven, this is the series for you. I know it's historical, but it is so, 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 so good. I gave it 5 cups of coffee, and please, please tell me the series isn't over. Ugh. The next book I read was Murder at the PTA right here. This is by Lee Hollis. This is the first book in the Maya and Sandra series. We read this for one of our Cozy Mystery Knockouts, actually the last Cozy Mystery Knockout. And in this one, we have Maya, who owns a private eye business, and Sandra is married to a senator, and she's kind of got a lot of time on her hands. Her kids are teenagers, and she runs into Maya, who was someone she knew in high school, and Maya tells her about her PI business, and Sandra just can't help herself from trying to insert herself into the business. So much happens in this book. I mean, so much. This is not your run-of-the-mill cozy mystery. A lot of themes in this book are pretty intense, pretty non-cozy. Coziness. I don't know what I'm trying to say. The themes are not cozy. Let's just say that. And I really liked it. I gave it 4 stars, or 4 cups of coffee. But what I will say, and what we talked about in the knockout is, although I gave it 4 stars, I think it was just the change of, wow, normally cozy mysteries don't have these type of themes. But at the same time, I don't want cozies to have these type of things, at least ongoing. Like every once in a while as a shock value, okay. But like if every cozy, I hope this isn't a trend. That's what I'm trying to say. I hope this isn't a trend where we're getting some of these really intense themes, because I read cozies because of the fluff. I'm not gonna lie, seriously, that's why I read cozies. They're cute, they're fluffy, they're my escape. There is enough bad in the world. I don't want to read about it in my books, and that's one of the things that draws me to cozies. The next one I read, Beauty Expos Are Murder, right here. This is the 6th and the currently last book out of the Poppy McAllister series by Libby Klein. So Miss Libby Klein, I'm looking to get your 7th book. I don't know when it's coming out, but I'm so excited. I know that she told me in her interview that she is slated to write 8. So I know there'll be a 7th book. Now it's just when it's coming to us, because this one was so good. So because 5 ended on such a, oh my gosh, I cannot believe number 6 picks up right where we left off. I don't want to tell you too much about it because it'd be a spoiler for number 5. But seriously, number 5 ends in a bang. That's not a bang sound. Let's just say number 5 ends in a bang. 6 picks up right where number 5 lets off. Oh my gosh, it is so good. Laughing out loud, just as normal, just like normal. I can't tell you how much I am loving this series. Oh, 5 cups of coffee, of course. So the next book I read was The Whole Cat and Caboodle right here. This is by Sophie Ryan. It's the first book in the Second Chance Cat Mystery series. It was our other knockout that went head to head against Murder at the PTA. And this one, our main character, Sarah, she owns Second Chance, which is a thrift shop, and she has also unwillingly, kind of involuntarily adopted this cat named Elvis, who's adorable. I gave this 3 cups of coffee. I really enjoyed it. I'll be checking out the second one. I was, however, shocked that I didn't give it more because this has all the elements of something that I would rate a 4 and 5 star. There's a group of elderly women in this that call themselves Charlotte's Angels. Because one of the characters is named Charlotte. It's a group of elderly women that are friends with Sarah's grandmother. And it's just got all the pieces. And I think that once the characters and the town is more developed, like in as I read the later books, I'll really get into this. And again, 3 cups of coffee was awesome, but I thought that I would give it higher. I need to read number 2 and get back with you. I'm gonna do that. So the next book I read was The Uninvited Corpse right here. This is by Deborah Sennefelder. It is the first book in the Food Bloggers Mystery Series, and it was also our July book club pick. I gave it 3.5 cups of coffee. Really loved it. Can't wait for the next one. So our main character is a food blogger and a lifestyle food blogger. And they're at this garden party, and there's an uninvited guest who ends up as the uninvited corpse. Now, our main character's sister is one of the prime suspects for the murder. I really enjoyed this. Can't wait to get back to the second one. And I've heard from some people in Discord that the second one was fabulous. So I'm totally in for it. The next book I read was As the Christmas Cookie Crumbles right here. This is the 5th book in the Food Lovers Village series by Leslie Budowitz, which means I finished up another SAS series because this is the last book in that series, at least currently out. So in this one, wow, a lot is going on. We're back in Jewel Bay, which is in Montana. Again, one of the only cozies I know that takes place now in Montana. And Aaron is getting ready to get married on Christmas Eve to Adam. And on top of that, there is a town-wide decorating day, which makes my heart just, how cozy. I love when towns do like community events. It's one of my big things. Love it. So Aaron and Adam also bought her mother's house. They're renovating that. There's just so much. And a character from the past, a woman from the past, shows up in town. Now she's got a sketchy past, and Aaron sees her trying to reunite with her parents, and her parents are like, "We don't want anything to do with you. Get out of here. You're dead to us," sort of thing. It was really sad. And Aaron is really shocked by this because she knows the parents, and she's really shocked by their reaction to her. And then the daughter ends up dead. Aaron really wants to figure out what is going on. I gave it 3.5 cups of coffee. Really enjoyed this one. Might have been my favorite of the series, but more because of it was Christmas time. There was the wedding. There was like I said, the community events. I just loved it. So the next book I read was Death with a Dark Red Rose. It's right here. This is the 5th book in the Writer's Apprentice series by Julia Buckley. So it's another book, another series I can check off my SAS list because I think this is the last book out in the series. Not check it off because I don't know that the series is over, but I'm caught up in it. Let me just say that. So in this one, I felt like, whew, it took off right from the get-go. So I don't think he's a sheriff, but Doug, the cop in this book's girlfriend, is missing at the beginning of the book, and they try to figure out what is going on. Turns out she's not missing, but her brother is in town, and he has some issues, and he he has a friend that he works with that has gone missing. So at first they don't know whether to believe him, and then it seems like it's on the up and up, so the book takes off from there. Loved it. 3 cups of coffee. So good. The next book I read was Murder Simply Stitched right here. This is the second book in the Amish Quilt Shop Mystery Series by Isabel Allen, aka Amanda Flower. In this one, the main character, Angie, is trying to rev up some business, so she takes her quilts to this Amish auction. While she's there, one of the township trustees she finds dead, and it looks like she's been poisoned by a pie. And the pie would, of course, been baked at Rachel Miller's shop, which is Angie's best friend in the town. And Angie wants to figure out what's going on. Love, love, love this series. I am really, really enjoying it, but it's no surprise because it's an Amanda Flower book. 4 big cups of coffee. The next book I read was Red Velvet Revenge, right here. This is the 4th book in the Cupcake Bakery Mystery Series by Jen McKinley, and I'm so excited to finally get back to this series. So in this one, Mel and Angie are joining up in the rodeo. No, they're not actually taking part in the rodeo. They're gonna sell cupcakes, of course. So Oz, who I am loving, has inherited this ice cream van. They decide to use it to their advantage. They head to the rodeo and set up, and there is a lot going on there. There's sabotage and murder, and they get themselves involved in this challenge with another vendor. It is fabulous. Love, love, love the characters, everything about it. So much fun. Gave it 4 cups of coffee. So the next book I read was Murder Runs in the Family right here. This is the 3rd book in the Southern Sisters series by Ann George. And in this one, the sisters, Patricia Ann, who they call Mouse, and Mary Alice, who's called Sister, they meet this woman at the Mary Alice's daughter's wedding. And she's a genealogist, and they go to lunch with her later, and she excuses herself, and Sorry, they go to lunch with her, and then a couple of days later, maybe they find out. I don't think it's actually at the lunch. She falls 10 stories, and people are saying it's suicide. The sisters absolutely don't think it's suicide. And so they're going to figure out what it is that's going on. 4 cups of coffee, loved it. So the last book I read was Murder Makes Waves right here. This is the 4th book in the Southern Sisters series by Ann George. And in this one, Mary Alice decides she's going to go on a vacation to Destin, Florida, and she talks Patricia Ann into going with her. They had met a new lady on the beach that they were beginning to be chummy with, and she ends up dead. And people are saying it was the husband, and the sisters just don't believe that's the case. So they're going to figure out what is going on. Laugh out loud funny. The sisters are so funny together. I absolutely love this series. So glad to be getting back to it. It's been a long time. I gave it 4 cups of coffee. All right, guys, that was my Cozy Mystery wrap up. I hope you enjoyed it. Until next time, may all your future reads be 5 stars. Bye,